Hello, I'm David Hoffman, an Emmy Award-winning filmmaker with nearly 200 PBS shows and feature documentaries to my credit. I'm coming to Yale University to make the most important documentary I've ever made. My story starts 40 years ago. That's when I lost my mother to cancer. Ever since then, my sister and I have tried various ways to honor her memory. We've been searching for something that my mother would have loved. This past summer, I was hired for an unusual job by a company called LabTV. They asked me to film video profiles of 100 young medical researchers at the National Institutes of Health in Bethesda, Maryland, all of whom are working to cure diseases. Each video was about one young scientist who would tell her life story. She would talk about how she became a scientist, and she would explain why she loves what she does. My assignment was to turn each scientist into a role model who would motivate college students and even high school students to follow in their footsteps. Everyone knows students who want to become doctors or engineers, but very few students think about becoming medical scientists. Why? It's mostly because students never get to see what medical scientists do. And as a lifelong filmmaker, let me tell you, if you can't see it, you probably won't be it. A couple of weeks into the filming, I asked, are any of these scientists trying to cure the same cancer that my mother died from? Of course, they said. At the NIH, we do research on every kind of cancer. And that's when it hit me. I offered to film an extra video of a cancer researcher at my own expense if the NIH would let me add a dedication to my mom at the end of that video. My mother would have loved the idea that her passing would help inspire young people. The NIH chose a young woman for my video who was devoting her life to curing cancer. She was great, and the whole project was coming along beautifully. But I needed one more thing. I needed the right music to play when her photo appeared at the end of the video. My mom's favorite song was Over the Rainbow from The Wizard of Oz.
The dreams that you dare to dream really do come true.
That would be the perfect song. But unfortunately, I didn't think Sony, the copyright holder, would give me permission to use one of the most famous songs of all time. But I decided to give it a shot. The people at Sony got so excited when they saw the video that they gave me permission to use Over the Rainbow. And when I showed my finished video to my family and my friends, everyone loved it. But the person who loved it the most was the scientist that I had profiled. She felt that the tribute to my mother had honored her. It honored her colleagues and their tireless efforts to beat this terrible disease. My sister and I had finally found a meaningful way to honor my mother's passing. But that's not the end of my story. Let me tell you why I'm going to Yale. As I showed more people the video honoring my mother, they often asked me if they could have a role model video that honored someone they had lost. University alumni in particular loved my video because it both honored a loved one and it promoted young scientists that universities are so proud of. I mentioned this enthusiasm by alumni to the folks at the NIH, and they did something surprising. They gave me permission to create individually sponsored role model videos inside the labs at the top 100 universities they fund. Of course, that includes Yale, where the NIH funds more than 500 labs. My first task was to make sponsoring a video affordable. I did that by recruiting local videographers and freelance editors. As a result, my team can make a role model video for just $190. And I got the rights to Over the Rainbow for everyone. But there's one catch. To make videos for just $190 each, my film crew needs to create 10 or more when they film at Yale. And that's why I'm here. For $190, I will make you a role model video dedicated to someone you lost. And I'll work with Yale to feature a Yale research scientist who's working to beat the very disease that took your loved one's life. I guarantee you that your friends and your family will love it. Take a look at the tribute to my mom in the video link below, and you'll see what I mean. If you join this effort, you'll be promoting the sciences at Yale in a unique way. You'll be turning one of their young medical scientists into a scientist role model for all undergraduates. The NIH and LabTV allowed me to honor my mother in a way I found deeply meaningful. I hope you'll let me do the same thing at Yale for a loved one that you've lost. Thank you.